Female soldiers are coming to Battlefield 1. The Battlefield Twitter account just posted the key art for the Russian DLC, and it features a female soldier. I don't think anyone expected that today. Now, having done a little bit of digging here, it does seem there were quite a few women who served in the Russian army on the front lines during World War I, but the numbers grew in early 1917 as many women in Russia pushed the new Russian government to create female battalions. The name given to these were the Women's Battalion of Death, and these units were formed alongside special male battalions called shock units, and they were made up of recruits and currently deployed soldiers who still had the enthusiasm to fight on. By this point of World War I, most of the Russian soldiers were tired of the relentless fighting, being under-equipped, and being led into battle with tactics that wouldn't and had been proven not to work. At the time, high-up Russian officials agreed with the pressing females who wanted to join the ranks that allowing female soldiers on the front lines would increase the morale overall of the soldiers already fighting there and may give them the edge during attacks. They also believed that having women present would bring shame on the male soldiers who were hesitant or unwilling to move forward during battle. Archaic tactics perhaps, but during World War I, if your soldiers didn't fight, you lost ground. Only 2 battalions of women served on the front lines during World War I for the Russians: the 1st Russian Women's Battalion of Death and the Perm Battalion. Now, over 5,000 women were actually serving in units of the Russian army by the autumn of 1917. Although the emphasis was to get women to galvanize the strength and the resolve of the entire army, the implementation into the ranks didn't really go to plan. Disorganization, lack of commitment by officials, and overall poor communication meant that the women who did go into battle were often left without proper guidance. By late 1917, the new Bolshevik government in Russia disbanded the women's battalions after growing unrest from officials who felt the allocation of women into these battalions was an unsuitable use of resources. But now, in 2017, looking at a video game called Battlefield 1, we're getting female soldiers, and I genuinely cannot believe that DICE have gone down this route for DLC. I think it's absolutely awesome. To be fair, it isn't very surprising when you look at what they've done already, bending the truth of World War I. They've introduced weapons like the Hellriegel and vehicles like the Shah 2C that only came into the game but never saw action during World War I at all. So the fact that they've gone for another sort of edge case here by implementing female soldiers, even though they were in the war a very small number, but I think it's a really good example again of DICE taking some creative license and perhaps doing something that they think is really, really cool. It's still a really awesome move, and it actually represents the first time that DICE have added female soldiers to the multiplayer of a Battlefield game. This image is the key art for the DLC, and by the looks of it, this female soldier is going to be the scout. You can see a Mosin Nagant resting on her back via a sling, and as for the weapon that's in her hand, I'm not 100% sure what that is, but I'm sure Flackfire will be able to tell you when he makes a video very, very soon. That is 100% a Mosin Nagant on her back though. And that's all we've got for today. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of this very interesting development down below in the comments section. I'm even more excited for this DLC now. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.